Select for game number 2 between IMA and Invictus Gaming, as Graves, Karma, and Trundle are going to be the bands that come out from IMA, whereas Invictus Gaming, they've taken away Hecarim, Rise, and Vladimir, so Rek'Sai still left up on the table.
Yeah, and with the Graves being banned, as you mentioned, it leaves that champion, but there seems to be a bit of other focus, to be fair, taking away what was potentially Tabe's team champion pool. It actually is reflected down the top lane.
Shen is actually going to be the first pick coming in for IMA here.
Yeah.
Which was their last pick rotation. They did decide to go for Irelia and Trundle as their first 2 picks, so now trying to take this one away from Save.
Yeah, it feels like they are still focusing Save. Amazing J, of course, he has the inclination to carrying. The Shen doesn't necessarily hard carry, but against the Irelia, which could be the assumption, it can. And the Trundle ban, as well as the Shen lock-in, says that Save's a Trundle player firstly, and they picked it for Road to deny that from Save, and now they picked the Shen to completely ruin that.
Whereas Invictus Gaming, they've gone for a Gragas pickup here for Kid, as well as a Braum pickup for Tabe here. So Gragas being a little bit more popular as a jungler recently. In fact, Rek'Sai not even being looked at by IG after the Shen pickup. That might go over towards IMA now.
Yeah, giving a Voidless Rek'Sai is, generally speaking, just a big no-no. Kid's a Gragas, something that can keep up the tempo of a Rek'Sai is a Gragas, and Kid's also shown that he's a stellar performer on that champion.
As Rek'Sai and Siva are the 2 lock-ins coming for IMA. So Rookie gonna have to play a different AD carry here today. His second AD carry.
Yeah, we'll see.
This split.
Wonder what he plays. You'd expect, once again, Jhin to be the second outlier of AD carry champions, but Rookie is a former mid laner. That means, usually, Vayne is the go-to, but we're in a competitive game, so it's Ezreal. It's just a fact that mid laners want to play a caster as an AD carry. And so you play Ezreal.
They lock it in. I mean, Wild Turtle was somebody that kept talking about that. He liked to play Ezreal and Corki, because coming from the mid lane, much preferred those 2 champions. Yeah, it was locked in.
Corki's not good, so you go towards Ezreal. Like, come on, man. As a mid laner, it makes so much sense.
Well, let's see if he's going to be able to put himself on Spawn's tier list of people who are allowed to play Ezreal with this game here against IMA.
Yeah, well, he'll be on the tier list somewhere.
as Rumble's going to be the lock-in coming in for IG as well, which has been seeing some play recently.
I, for one, hope that Spawn isn't watching this game, so that we can decide on his place in the tier list and just tell Spawn about it.
It's a good idea.
The Rumble in particular, now knowing he was into the Shen, Save's locking up a carry, possibly in that top lane. Dangerous champion, remember, with the changes to Rumble. Doing 100% damage to monsters means that he's able to be picked more in the top lane as a duo jungle tool. Doesn't just suffer entirely from it. That and the Proto Belt being out gives a lot of potential for IG.
Highly unlikely, but still very possible it could be flexed here as a jungle pick and Gragas top, but probably going to be that top lane pick. You have to see what IMA decides to round out their team composition with.
And tell me if they don't, like, if they lock this in, that's not the best IMA composition you've ever seen.
Probably is.
And that's everything that we said they should change.
This is IMA's team here. Except for maybe Amazing J not on the carry. But still, it's good. I mean, Jinzhao and Siva rode onto Bard. We've got Baimi on his LeBlanc in the mid lane.
Feels like every time somebody's on the red side of the map, they just pick whatever they'd like for themselves. Blue side is actually just like, IG in game number 1 got everything they'd want, which was a lot of these champions. Took it away from IG this time, I may have, and now they've got their perfect team composition. They fixed every single weakness that they had in that first game already.
Well, let's see what Invictus Gaming respond with here. They're still looking for a mid lane potentially for Zatai to play against the LeBlanc being picked up by Baimi.
And as a LeBlanc player, Zatai may know what is good against it. He might default to the likes of the Victor, but the Kassadin, why does that just feel so Zatai?
Let's see if it does get locked in, and it does. So we are going to see a Kassadin being played here by Zatai into Baimi's LeBlanc in the mid lane.
Some things never change. Zatai is one of them. The Kassadin, though, I mean, you've got the spell shield, so you can deny a lot of the early pressure that a LeBlanc has to an extent. It can snowball out of control, but you survive laning phase, use teleport, just keep on trucking, and you'll find that Kassadin becomes a major powerhouse.
So IMA getting the team composition that they really wanted coming into game number 2 here against Invictus Gaming. Whereas a few curveballs this time round coming out from IG. Save their new top laners, going to be throwing Rumble into the into the top lane.
Yeah, so more than one magic damage carry option. It's actually really important this game for IG that Rookie gets going. And now you have to expect a lot of carrying from the AD carry of IG.
You know, normally I would say that's normally what they tend to do, but now he's an AD carry. That might be a little bit different.
Maybe that's still what they tend to do. Of course, something that IG have now shown they want to do is have a carry in most positions and just get those big team fights that are chaotic.
Well, let's see if they can do just that as we head into game number 2 between Invictus Gaming and IMA. And we're back here onto Summoner's Rift for game number 2 between Invictus Gaming and IMA. Currently, Invictus Gaming, with their swap of roster, so to speak, is up 1-0 against IMA.
Yeah, I think so IG won game 1 through just chaos. Like, they just caused team fights to break out, forced IMA around, and just created unusual scenarios where they decided that they were able to win, and they shone the brightest in that situation. Feels like the roster changes are reflective of exactly that, as team compositions for IG moving forward still very similar, albeit a lot of differences in damage dealing. There's still 5 of them, or 4 of them, not including support, that can do a lot of damage and actually carry for the team of IG. It feels like that's their strategy, just have a lot of team fights or skirmishes where they can start to get ahead and dance at red buffs. What a strategy. Mostly the former part, not the latter.
Not the latter?
Less
dancing.
dancing,
Red buffs,
yeah.
not that great.
Doesn't win the game. IMA, on the other hand, literally have Exodia. Like, IMA's team composition, maybe save an Echo, but this is a new patch. Shen's now stepped up. They actually have their 5 perfect champions for them.
Okay.
That's absurd. I cannot believe they got that.
Well, let's see what they can do with those champions, as Road and Jinjiao are going to be invading deep into the jungle here, try and stop the camp start from Kid. As they immediately move down towards the Raptors. Let's see how many of these they can get before Jinjiao and Road decide to ruin their day. Doesn't get the chicken, finds one. So Road already coming out ahead here. Deny them from taking down the Raptor too.
Road does his part, of course, forcing IG away. They get what they can. You also have to remember at this exact point in time, Jinjiao isn't hitting the wave at all.
So it is a lane swap that's going to be started out here by IMA, which means Satai is going to be isolated in this mid lane against Bamey, already taking a lot of damage from this LeBlanc.
Safe to say this could be seen as a problem for Invictus Gaming. Kid and Rumble, they could look towards an early gank, pressure him out, especially given the stack of minions now pushing in. He is susceptible to that threat if he tries to harass under the turret, but that would be a risky decision because Kid on that Gragas would have to expend summoner spells. LeBlanc's not easy to lock down when it's a Kassadin helping you out. Risk reward's always there though for IG.
Bamey's already been able to trade quite efficiently in that mid lane. Does have 2 corrupting potion stacks to the 1 left remaining for Zatai, so already doing a pretty good job in this isolated lane. As now Save is going to be moving down towards the bottom side of the map to help out Rookie and Tabe with this lane swap.
Giving all the last hits to Rookie. As expected. Of course, IG now playing the lane swap. We have to look towards Save and Rookie. 2 new players in this game that is a lane swap to see how they perform. If the Ezreal can recall and get himself a tier by that first buy, or if things start to look a little bit unfortunate for Rookie.
Seems like Kid is going to get 3 buffed here. Only was able to take down his blue buff. Red buff was taken away by a Voilus, and his blue buff is still left standing.
Yeah, I mean, usually you'd look at that and say that it sucks, but it doesn't so much anymore. You still get experience from small camps, and as long as Kid is farming the jungle, which this time around he's actually going to help push, then you'd say it's okay, honestly, for the Gragas. One thing that Rek'Sai always does, and SOFM was infamous for, is doing a full clear without a single major buff.
As both the outer lane turrets in the top lane and bottom lane have now been taken down by both Invictus Gaming and IMA, and Invictus Gaming are looking to try and start up a very early Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, very well-timed Drake for IG if they look to take this one down. It does ruin a lot of their tempo, though, because they're not going to be pushing the top side of the map. This means that Shen, generally speaking, will find himself a slight CS advantage. They will get the Drake, though, so it's the scaling option for IG.
And it's going to be a Mountain Dragon that spawns next here on Summoner's Rift, so two of the more contested dragons going to be spawning today.
Oh, and Baimi actually gets an early blue buff. That's huge in this lane. Baimi was already harassing him, but kept running out of mana, something that LeBlanc does occasionally do.
Tatai was able to head back to base there, and does pick up a Dark Seal and an Amplifying Tome. There's a Voidless now waiting to try and get a gank on towards Tatai here in the bottom lane. There's a Bard coming in as well.
Road.
There's the flash forward. Tatai's being ignited, locked down. Going to get taken down by the three-man gank squad coming out from IMA.
Yeah, and honestly, there was no point even flashing there. He assumed it was just a Voidless, but Road comes in, and this is IMA with their best champions, playing the game their way, and IG let them.
And even though it's just one kill, IMA already have a nice gold lead for themselves. They're about 1,000 gold up. The big wave crashing in towards Invictus Gaming's turret. They're going to be matched by standard lanes here as Rookie and Tabe make their way down towards the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, and look how many minions are going to be missed right now for Zatai. That's just gone from bad to worse. Honestly, playing the lane swap out, you would assume mid lane's isolated, but it definitely hasn't been. As now that it feels like they endeavor to get standard lanes.
It's a big mistake coming out from Tatai. Going to cost him a lot. He's already a level behind and now 10 CS behind Baimi as well.
Levels are the most important part in the Cassidy versus LeBlanc matchup. It comes down to hitting 6 first. Baimi's got that.
Baimi also able to head back to base and pick up an entire lost chapter above of any item that Tatai has at the moment. So big power spike for items too. As now it looks like they're going to try and get 4 people up to the top side of the map to try and gank on towards both Kid and Save. They need to try and run away from this one. There's a flash forward from Amazing J. They're going to try and lock down this Rumble. The rest of the team going to be able to collapse on top of him. That's a dead Save.
Good night, Save.
And I'm going to be able to pick up 2 kills very early on into this match.
Sooner or later, we'll see.
It'll take some time.
He's just hanging out.
He's gone.
There we go. All right, so IMA get themselves a second kill. This does give time for IG, however, to overpush the bottom lane, just because of how damn long it took to actually take him down. The problem remains in this middle lane, that's correct.
And that wave's going to be pushing back towards Baimi as well. So Tatai is already a level down, doesn't have Riftwalk to try and escape any more ganks or even the pressure that's being put down by Baimi. Has to be very careful here, and already a great start for IMA. Contrasting between game 1 and 2.
And I don't like the Cassidon pick, to be perfectly honest with you. It looks like something Zatai might play. I just don't think it's good to be picked into Baimi's LeBlanc when there's a lot of pressure available. The lane swap isolates it. They set themselves up. They've got Road on Bard who can rotate in.
And he's doing just that. Doesn't get the stun towards the turret, but lots of slow coming down. Jinjar even tries to throw out the Boomerang Blade.
They're also missing a wave clear option with the Rumble Cassidon. So the 1-3-1 is okay for them if they get to that stage, can set up that and execute on that strategy. But if they had wave clear in the middle lane, I think it would have been far better. That Varus they hovered maybe could have stayed.
This does mean, though, I'm going to get a lot of damage down towards the mid lane outer turret. Kid and Tabe actually move over towards the lane. Try and wave clear as much as possible and stop it from falling down this early. Lots of damage, though, from IMA.
Yeah, they're chunking it out. Of course, this is all a decision that actually comes back to bite them from going for the Drake. That control of the map completely ceded. And it's a slow lane swap now that's starting to be executed on more effectively. IMA now fully rotate towards the bottom lane to push away Save, and they're keeping that Rumble down. And down is exactly what he is. Look at the farm difference between top laners.
49 to 17. A huge discrepancy. Amazing J 30 CS ahead. Even discrepancies being formed in the jungle and mid lane. It's only Rookie at the moment that's ahead in terms of CS on this Ezreal.
Does get an ult off. That'll actually help a lot with this wave. So they won't get it this particular wave. It might be the next. Doesn't mean that IG are going to be any faster than them. It's actually just Rookie damage controlling.
IG now going to try and take down the top lane outer turret as well. Kid is moving up towards the top side of the map. So Amazing J needs to be a little bit careful on Shen.
There's a pink ward in the tribe bush that'll spot them if he walks there. So where Kid's position now is right. As now
does eventually fall down. Tatai's being camped in the mid lane. Voidless is still looking for a gank. Gets spotted out by the ward.
Oh. Kid didn't check the bush. That was aggressive from Amazing J, but it makes a lot of sense as to why. Now he's in a 1v2. He knows that it's only 2. And you can see how he stances himself far more forward. The lane swap has been entirely won by Aimee, and there has been no respite so far.
It certainly has a 3,000 gold lead for the Aimee lineup this early into the game against Invictus Gaming. IG do have some fantastic scaling champions like Rumble, like the Cassidy, but it's going to be really difficult for them to get there now.
Exactly right. That mid game is simply a pipe dream. For IG, it's actually too far away, and maybe it just stays too far away. It's now hit a point, though, where if you look at Game 1, Aimee's strategy was definitely lacking. They didn't know where to be on the map. They didn't know when to be there. Nice try.
That was close. One more auto attack from Avoidless would have mean that Rookie picked up that blue buff, but instead Bamey's going to get it donated over towards him.
But again, this is probably the one big moment where IG could look to turtle themselves back into the game. If they get a freeze for save, if Rookie can hold the fort, then maybe, just maybe. If they don't, everything could unfold very poorly as Rookie's just found Road.
Oh, Arcane shifts over the wall there. They're going to be running straight in towards a bar. Jin Jiao now trying to get down to the bottom lane. There's actually going to be Aimee to have to retreat away as Rumble made his way down as well.
Simply numbers advantage. Of course, Rookie did that blind and had to flash for it. But they do push them away, so take the victory where you can.
Tatai getting the double distortion to chunk him down to half his health from Bamey. He's actually doing a good job in keeping up in terms of CS here. He's dead even with the LeBlanc, who's pushing into his lane as well.
Yeah, again, the problem's just still going to be there with saving that top lane. 38 CS to 73. The Shen is huge.
Tatai opting to go for a Hextech Gunblade.
That's a proto belt.
Proto belt coming out from Cassidy as his first item. Not a Gunblade. Hextech Revolver. Different item.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Are you trying to get me to justify it? Because I'm not going to.
No,
I'm just going to let it
he's
sit.
just going to be jumping around on the map.
Yes, it's
Quite a
nice. I mean,
Save's going to be doing the same thing. He's going for a Proto belt as well.
it has auto attacks, is Cassidon's build. It has cooldown reduction, which is nice for a Cassidon. He literally does not have his Rod of Ages. He has no mana pool. He is missing a lot of key components. And he's settling for the second best because it's cost efficient and it's mid-game focused. It feels like IG are now all or nothing on that mid-game team fight.
Well, Aimee going to be able to take down the Mountain Dragon here, as Air is going to be the next one to spawn. Or Cloud, I should say.
Yeah, easy second, Drake. Of course, it does take a while to kill.
Rookie actually stops the recall, came out from Road here. He might be in a little bit of a sticky situation. Still level 5, going to have to take the magical journey to get out of there.
It was close to death. The level 7 Q from Rookie might have been enough. Not to be had, however, as IG have drawn their line in the sand at this point in the game. Aimee definitely still in control. Getting big item spikes, setting themselves up well. They can play the map slow and patiently and just scale.
Tatai actually getting chunked down again here by Bamey. He's still doing a good job in terms of keeping up with CS, but taking a lot of damage for every single last hit he goes for.
Even a Negatron Cloak would have been better for Zatai. I'm just generally confused.
He still thinks he's a top laner, apparently.
Well, I mean, he thinks he's not Cassidon is the answer to that. He should have played Rumble mid if he's going to do that. I don't know. I get it. But you're a Cassidon. Get a rod.
Meanwhile, Amazing J actually trying to get a deep freeze up on the top side of the map here. He's actually pushed Save away from this lane. He's moving down towards the bottom side of the map now. Pings are coming out to the top side to show that Save is not up there. So I may know that he's missing.
Level 7 as well as the Rumble, so they could look towards making plays. It feels like that's what they are looking towards. This blue buff wants to be contested by Aimee. IG could respond by fighting in a choke point. They don't.
Close again, but Bamey's able to pick up the blue buff. So Vodless, he's been dominating most of the camps here. I think Kid's gotten 1, maybe 2 buffs this game.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know if that's enough. Just going from Raptors to Wolves. Raptors to Wolves. Kid's having a rough time on Summoner's Rift. Everybody from IG is having a rough time through laning phase. Rookie and Tabe are hiding. They're not actually laning 2v2. We're yet to see those guys have a fight at all.
To be fair, they have stopped the bleeding for now. They're still at 3,000 gold behind Aimee. They're not falling any further behind anytime soon. So trying to sit and farm with the I main lineup. Not trying to fight them yet.
I mean, that's nice as well in terms of timing, because they will get towards that proto belt whenever Zatai gets a recall in. I would imagine with that spike, he might look towards some kind of play being made, whether it's a 1-3-1 put into effect, or who knows, honestly, what they're going to do. Like, this is... That ult perfectly indicates how this game's going.
Yep.
A Shen 1v1 against a Rumble, and he ults a wave. He is 2 levels behind, about 50 CS behind. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong, and they are just losing in slow motion.
They're actually sending a lot of people up to the top side of the map, but meanwhile, Rookie trying to put a lot of damage down towards Jinjiao, forced to pop a potion, has to run away. Big wave will crash on towards his turret.
He's doing well, Rookie. Again, the saving grace of these guys.
He's going for it. Flashes forward, does get the solo kill onto Jinjiao in the bottom lane. That's a big wave that's going to be denied as well. I may have to cancel their plans and stop the dive on towards the Rumble. They're going to lose a bottom lane out of turret for this.
Yeah, if only Rumble had the ultimate, they could have actually defended that top lane turret, but it's already down. Save. The one man's not going to be enough. They will still be trading, but IG, on the back of Rookie getting a 1v1, we said in the draft, Rookie has to be big, and he is.
He's 35 CS up ahead of Jinjiao here. He's presumably new as an AD carry. Ezreal would probably be a more comfortable pick for him then. You just showed why, able to get a 1-on-1 against Jinjiao. They will, like you say, trade those inner turrets in the top lane and bottom lane. But that's a nice pick coming in from IG.
And ideally for IG, if Save can keep that freeze and just try and hold the wave for as long as he can, he'll catch up in farm. He's getting his items. Rumble's always going to scale once he hits the level 11 point. This mid lane, Zatai does still have a proto belt, albeit a weird item choice. He has his item Spike, which means his immediate damage has increased. And once he hits level 11, there's even the possibility for a second split pushing tool. This is a game that Rookie has to do everything in. He's got the team to back him up, though.
Well, we said Invictus Gaming stopped the bleeding and now starting to heal. We'll have to see if IMA can reopen that wound, as it's now 2,500 gold lead for them.
And it's just, like, it is very funny. They are super far ahead. Granted, the Shen's probably the major big deal.
Yep.
Mid lane definitely still has an advantage, but it's pretty hard to kill a Kassadin who can just get away, especially once he ticks that next level. Ezreal in the 2v2, the fact that IG's strategy is about hiding Rookie, getting him ahead, working around him, it's working out for them in a very unique way. And I think that once they actually find themselves capable of team fighting, maybe things turn around for IG. That's why they might have gone mid-game item builds.
Well, there's the power spike coming in from IG, like you said. You know, 2 big items on Rookie. We have the proto belts being picked up by both the solo laners. We have the Runic Echoes being picked up by Kid as well as Merc Threads, both top laner and jungler. So they do have power spikes here that could potentially look for fights.
And the thing is, I still think the answer's there from IMA.
Okay.
Full items are enough. The Negatron Cloak actually prevents a lot of damage that's going to come out of IG. From Bamey in particular, he's now actually quite a tank in that respect. The strategy is where I think IMA are indefinitely going wrong. They just don't know where to put themselves on the map. Constantly putting themselves in awkward spots or pushing and pulling of Summoner's Rift by IG is making them answer. It's not ideal.
Bactus get cancelled there by Bamey, so stops Rumble going back to base. They're going to swap out though. Tatai's are going to be the one that heads up to the top lane. Surprisingly, felt very comfortable saying that. Does get locked down by Bamey, puts the chains down. Thunderlord's proc will come out too.
Yeah, so the Kassadin, we already spoke to that power spike, has hit it in the way of levels, and now looks aggressively towards Bamey, who didn't buy damage, did buy Negatron. Means he won't die. And I was expecting this item build, funnily enough, from Zatai. I was just waiting for him to get it. The mana pool comes from the Sheen, and then he's got the Proto Belt to actually close distances. And so he's an on-hit, effectively Kassadin.
There's no Temper Fate actually coming out. Road's going to take a lot of damage. The Shen ult's being popped there. Will be able to get down. Road's still alive. And I'm going to look to try and turn around this team fight. A massive flash taunt comes out from Amazing J. And that's going to be IG dropping down one by one. Kid now going to try and escape. Same has to flash over the wall. Saving grace is Zatai able to pick up a kill. He's going to try and rift walk his way out of there. The rest of IMA is going to still chase him down. Amazing J looking to get the flank on towards the Kassadin. Should have his taunt up. Does have the taunt up now. Zatai tries to dash away. Good juke shoots. And makes sure he has to be a little bit careful. Big rubber roll gets one, but the rest of the team going to be able to survive. They do end up trading that 2 for 2.
And Zatai gets out, but Save is the reason that he does. A lot of damage out of that Rumble. They make a trade. They don't win the trade, IG, but they show they're capable of doing it. As now, once again, another buff gets pressured, and Aime, they look to up that tempo, but it's matched.
It was so close from Invictus Gaming. It was something like 20 health that separated Road from Death and getting the Shen into that team fight.
The same thing for Zatai and Death, to be perfectly fair.
Whew.
I think, yes, absolutely. If Road just died at the very beginning, he missed his ultimate, things could have been different. But you can see how much damage Save did when he's level 9. Wait till he actually gets levels in his champion. His level 9 is so low. He's almost the lowest in his team.
You can see Save actually doing the most damage for the side of Invictus Gaming there.
He's getting no experience because he's jungling. Leave it to Kid. He just has nowhere to go. They actually need to prioritize getting him experience. Big win condition of any Rumble, similar to Gangplank, is objective-based fighting. You look for a Drake. People crowd around an objective, like a Baron even as well. You pop down the Equalizer, and they have to make a decision. Do we take the rest of the team's damage, or do we fight?
Deep teleport down to bottom lane coming out from Amazing Jade there. Tatai's going to get locked down by the taunt. You're going to use the Proto Belt and dash away. Does get locked down by the ultimate coming out from Road. They're looking for more damage, but a good another Rift Walk will get him to safety.
Yeah, no, he's going to be fine. It's a Kassadin.
And Rumble's able to get some farm from this as well. Rookie going to get some damage down to mid lane, out to turret too.
And so Aime's response now is to look for the turret. This Kid tries to defend it.
Baimi tries to dash in, doesn't land the chain, only gets one Silver proc on towards the Gragas. This means that the mid lane out turret could potentially fall down for Rookie. They traded turrets again.
Yeah, so just keeping up trades. That's exactly what Invictus Gaming should be doing. Aime should be utilizing the advantage they have through the Shen to take objectives for free and not have to be traded for. Once again, that lacking of strategy. It's like there's only so many last hits that a Shen can get ahead of a Rumble before it doesn't really matter.
Cloud Dragon actually getting started here by Aime. Invictus Gaming throw them off of us. Baimi trying to look for a flank on towards that Kassadin. Gets lots of damage down. Tabe has to put down the ultimate. Stand United being used on top of Road one more time here. Smite's going to come out. Kid does get it, but Invictus Gaming definitely have to be very careful here as there's low health bars on their mid laner. Amazing J going to take the magical journey on over to the other side of the map. Tatai has to be careful as he's staying on top of a ward, but that's a win for IG. They get the dragon.
Yeah, they get the dragon and nobody dies. And it is a Cloud Drake for what it's worth. It's not that big of a deal. I think Aime were actually looking for an opportunity to fight over it. But IG get the objective. Ooh, that was close.
Rookie on this edge, it's twice he almost stole blue buff. He's almost killed Road twice as well with his ultimate. It's just,
you know what's funny about this game is actually, like, look at Rookie's CS. He's at 200. He has a lot of gold. He's probably the only person on his team that'd be ahead in gold. He's the big deal, and he's the only one on this team for IG. I feel like the thing that I don't like about Aime right now is LeBlanc's farm. He is now behind Zatai. Zatai doesn't have a lot, even compared to the clock. For most professional players, if they get in a standard lane or they're losing lane, Zatai's got a pretty good amount for himself. So how is he ahead of Baimi by 20?
You're doing some good catch-up here. Even Save is going to get a nice big wave up the top side of the map. He is still drastically behind the Shen, though.
Exactly, because Aime are using objectives that spawn every 6 minutes as their strategy to win the game.
Yep.
Every time they get a turret, it's a trade. It's not a fight. They're not diving. IG, when they won game number 1, they were diving. They had the composition to do it, and they were pulling that trigger. Jin Zhao has the Sivir. They have a LeBlanc to siege. They have a Rek'Sai and Shen to dive with the Bard ulti to engage. I am yet to see it. They only do it for the Drakes, and this gives IG so many opportunities to come back into this game. It's just a sign of a young team not being able to make these executive decisions. Granted, they are still ahead through superior laning.
But the lead they've given themselves is just, it's stayed here. Like, it hasn't moved at all. It's just been 3,000 gold. It's not going any further at the moment.
Was that a Fire Drake next?
Mountain, sorry.
Ah, okay. I was going to say, another Fire would be IG set up well.
It's going to be the second Mountain Dragon and the fourth Elemental Dragon that we see this game.
Fourth?
4 dragons, not the fourth Elemental, sorry.
I was going to say, there's only 3 elements available. Teleport used top lane.
Mason J going to get jumped on here by 3 members. The Standing 9 is going to get cancelled. Tabe's
They
up
want
here
him.
as well. That's a 4-man gang squad save. Actually has to be a little bit careful. They're going to get taunted up. Gets taken out really low. Has to flash away. Protobelt gets him to safety. A kid will take him down. They actually needed 4 members up on the top side of the map. Avoidless has to be a little bit careful as well as Rookie chases him out of his own jungle.
And Rookie, the one-man army, not even available. He's actually the damage of the team, and he wasn't there to put it down. So, Amazing Jay, we already said that he is ahead. They've been putting a lot of emphasis on getting this Shen going, and he almost takes out Save in a 1v4. That would have been inexcusable from IG, but the Protobelt gets him out.
And another blue buff's going to go towards IMA. They've been really starving to tie blue buffs.
And you know what? That's okay. It's still a 4v5. IG are now trying to play the strategy of pushing down mid lane with a numbers advantage. Save still has his ulti, still has teleport.
Amazing J's back up.
Yeah.
Lots of damage coming out from Rookie there on towards a Voidless. Jinjiao moves down to the bottom lane, gets a spell shoot onto the Mystic Shot coming out from Ezreal.
But so much damage coming out of Rookie at the moment. Level 13, the same as the solo laners of his own team.
He's got a Hex Drinker picked up and looking for a lifesteal item next, so it's a very safe Ezreal at the moment. Whereas the Rylai's Crystal Scepter was picked up by Save in the meantime for Rumble, so he can get a lot of slowdown with both his Flame Spitter and then the additional slow for his Equalizer now.
Yeah, it feels like they've crafted themselves a lot of bruises.
Road actually taking a lot of damage there. The final Mystic Shot going to get blocked out by Voidless. Magical Journey is able to avoid the True Shot barrage coming out from Ezreal too.
Yeah, good disengaged movements from Road in particular. He wouldn't have died, I don't think, from the True Shot, but better safe than sorry. As still, that's the kind of thing that... I mean, we're 25 minutes into this game. It felt like IMA had complete control, yet IG are still threatening that middle lane somehow. They're still finding advantages through their AD carry, their former mid laner, I suppose it's safe to say this point in Rookie. He's playing well.
Certainly is. 256 CS. He's been constantly 30 CS ahead of Jinjiao. Has some nice items. Looking for the Blade of the Ruined King as his next item pickup. That would be another big power spike for Ezreal. Gonna have to see if Invictus Gaming can keep him alive in this match, because there's a lot of dive threat coming out from IMA. Shen, Rek'Sai, LeBlanc all able to get to the backline quite nicely.
It definitely is. And for an aggressive young side, that's something that they want to do, is take out Rookie. I was almost expecting the Mercurial Scimitar to be seen from him as well. So he had the QSS aspect to get out of the Shen taunts, the spells that will lock him down, including the Bard stun, but he needs the damage. He's at a crossroads where, whilst he wants that item, he's gone for the Hex Drinker as the resolve to that fact. Just don't get stunned. Maybe get a Mikhail's, if possible, from Tabe, but it's not an ideal itemization choice.
There goes a Temper Fate, going to lock down Tabe here. Getting it stunned up as well, puts down the shields, able to negate a lot of damage. They want to try and turn this one around. There's the Mystic Shot on towards Bamey, gets the Stand United. Wow. That's a big ultimate. They find Bamey. That's a major damage threat that's been taken down right off the bat of this team fight. IG turned that around.
Kid actually makes a big mistake and knocks them away. I don't even think I saw a flash.
Jinjiao has to be careful. Flash forward for Rookie. It's going to be a jump on top of him by Zatai. Has to use the Protobelt to try and run, but they've already taken down Road. IG find 3 kills. They're not stopping just yet as Rookie's going deep into that back lines. This is going to be another turret that falls down. 3-for-1 trade.
And now the minion wave's here to help them push. IG are going to close that gold lead to basically nothing. They get another big team fight.
They're still looking for a push here, it seems. Is Rookie going to get some damage down? No, they're going to back away. Voidless takes another Mystic Shot to the face. Enough time, though, for Mountain Dragon to respawn. That looks like where I may want to look towards next. Oh, Invictus Gaming, sorry.
IG, they're just looking like they have changed roster, but found strength within the first week of that roster being changed. Rookie, once he gets that Blade of the Ruined King, you would imagine will just come into his own. We're seeing the strengths of the Rumble composition as well. And it's actually picking up on the mistakes of Road on Bard, hitting his Tempered Fates on just the one member. And it was Tabe. They thought he was out of position, but he definitely wasn't.
IMA, though, going to be able to respond after that team fight to take down a second Mountain Dragon. So they're stacking that up nicely.
Rare mistakes, honestly.
Yep.
To be seen from IMA.
They'll be making quite a few, and like you mentioned, now the gold lead is actually dead even. Here's another Tempered Fate. Rookie, nice use of the Arcane Shift to get out of that one. So another miss coming up from Road.
And we've seen every single time the Tempered Fate is down, IG look like they want to respond in kind and actually fight. We're at that point in the game at 28 minutes where Baron's always going to be a big deal. Yes, it spawns at 20, but it's actually worth considering past the 25-minute mark. Amazing J is still huge. As a Shen frontliner, he probably won't die.
Certainly might not, but there's a lock of the own Solari being used there by Road. Takes a Mystic shot in the face for it.
And it comes down to killing Baimi.
They did a good job with that last fight.
Jin Jiao does have items, but Baimi's the kill threat onto Rookie. And as long as Baimi dies, Rookie lives.
Rookie actually gets stunned there by the Bard Q, taking a little bit of damage from the ricochets being thrown out by Sivir as well, but we'll heal that one up nicely now that he has the Blade of the Ruin King available. Tsutai actually split pushing down the bottom side of the map.
Which is very handy for him. Of course, wants to get that level 16 point, so the more than he can be in a solo lane, the happier the Kassadin will be. He actually wants his blue buff.
He's got his Lich Bane now as well. So
yeah.
That's a lot of damage from one burst attempt coming out from Kassadin.
So once again, IG can look to fight. It still feels like IMA are in a point of power, at least with items, as they need the Void Staff on Save and the Zonyas on Zatai before I would really consider an all-in team fight if I were IG. But the fact that the gold is dead even at 29 minutes, given how it started, is unreasonable to even consider how we got here.
Well, Tatai is heading back to base now, so we'll have to see if that's enough for him to pick up his Zonya's Hourglass. The components of the Void Staff still there for the Rumble. It's not enough for him to pick it up. Does have all the components still.
So Baimi and Amazing J still have answers to 1-3-1s. If you see Zatai in a side lane, remember that Baimi has teleport. He can match it. I just don't know if he can match the 1v1 against a Kassadin that's this scaled in strength.
See how he goes for the rest of this game. It's been a roller coaster ride so far. IMA looking to start the game off incredibly strong, and just people stop the bleeding.
There's one big spike to be seen, the Void Staff from Save. So that ultimate, that Equalizer is going to be doing a lot of damage. Kid's a big tank. He's got that attack speed reduction as well. So honestly, they're set up pretty well. A situation, again, I'm shocked they're in, but they can do it.
Double locket coming up from Invictus Gaming as well, so lots of damage from Baimi is going to be negated in these fights.
Zatai also has it.
Yep, he picked up the Void Staff there, so big item power spikes coming in from IG. Rookie's even going to pick up a red buff. This might be the time where IG looks to fight.
Yeah, it's not exactly the go button. It's not, we have the Void Staff and Zonias 100% just go team fight. They still need to set up for that team fight. You would ideally say it's around the Baron. If IG can get vision control, which they are now starting to establish control of the area. Imagine past this point, once the vision is set, they can either choose to kick the Baron off or set up a trap around it, look to catch people out of position.
They've started it. They're going straight for this one. Rookie actually arcane shifting into the pit. They're starting this one up, and nobody.
They have a lot of damage.
They started this. There's the first scrying orb being used. Invictus Game get a lot of damage on towards this Baron. This should get taken down. They're going to be able to get this one unless the Voidless can go for the steal. Shen's going to pick it up. Amazing J finds the miracle steal. They're trying to get out of the pit now. Amazing J going to get stuck and locked down by 3 members. There's the Tempo finds 3 people. IMA looking to try and turn this one around now. Good talk comes out. Kid's going to fall down to Baimi as Save has to run away. He's getting taken up by Jin Jiao. And the rest of IG trying to run. Rookie shifting aggressively forward. Going to cost him his life as the rest of IMA just clean up. This is the second time this series that a Baron take has gone disastrously wrong.
Amazing J gets the Baron, and I have no idea how he even managed to secure that one with the Baron buff, with 4 people dead from Invictus Gaming. This will be at least the inhibitor to be seen from that you would expect. I don't think Zatai has what it takes to defend this. What a turnaround, and what an unexpected smite steal. Not even a smite, just a steal from Amazing J.
That's 2 games in a row. The team that starts up the Baron gets stolen by a solo laner. Tatai now actually getting locked down, has to use the Proto Belt to get out there, but still gets taken down by the final Sigil Rock coming out from Baimi. And that's a very delayed ace that will come out from IMA.
Yeah, very not necessary, honestly, from Zatai. If he was looking to defend that inhibitor, he should have gone in a while ago. The inhibitor still falls, of course. We get to see how he takes that. It looked like a taunt if it wasn't the Sunfire. I don't think the taunt does damage to it. So, so he locks down the Baron. Road shows up this time, and I'm guessing we're fighting again.
They're looking for another inhibitor here as IMA trying to push down the bottom lane inhibitor turret. They do get that. Baron up minions going to be collapsing on towards inhibitor. They don't have Jin Jiao, so if IG want to go, now's the time, but Tatai's dead. They can't defend this one. Another inhibitor will fall, and Invictus Gaming now have to just go full on defense and try and stop the rest of their base from falling apart.
Yeah, 2 inhibitors taken. IMA have actually just gone from strength to strength. Once again, IG, they bring it back to even. They spend a lot of time and effort towards putting themselves there. And once they get onto the pedestal, they fall over. And now we're back towards where we were 10 minutes beforehand. IMA in complete control. Pretty impressive that we've come full circle.
A 6,000 goal lead for IMA at the moment. There's a big Baron power play there. As Dragons can be spawning in about 10 seconds.
This Drake, definitely
Infernal
worth
Dragon.
looking at for IMA. I don't know if IG actually can get there for this one. It should already be gone.
Picking this one up will equalize the Infernal Dragon advantage that IG previously had. True Shot Barrage not going to be enough to take it away. The next Dragon Spawn's going to finally be that Elder Dragon.
Yep. So a 5 Drake game. Of course, the early Dragon being taken by IG is why this has happened. They prioritize that Infernal. That's basically how this whole game started to go poorly for them. Here we are, Fish.
Big item pickups coming in from these two teams. So I can see 2 Guardian Angels now being picked up by the frontline members of IMA. Amazing Jay and Avoid is going to be able to come back to life. They get bursting down in these team fights.
And this is good from IG, actually. Giving the blue buff to Rookie. There's no purpose in giving it to Zatai whilst they're stuck inside the base. The wave clear member wants to stay full mana.
Well, IMA now going to look to try and push down the top lane inhibitor turret. Baron buff's going to wear out shortly. Zatai is standing on top of a ward. They know exactly where he is. Looks like he wants to wrap around, but he's being telegraphed here about what he is doing. Road takes a little bit of damage.
Yeah, he was pushing them away from the turret at least. Because the Baron buff's gone, it's going to be hard for them to execute on this. I think it comes down mostly to Road hitting a Tempered Fate or Amazing J getting a Taunt off.
Let's see if they can, because they still have super minions pushing in the bottom and bottom side of the map and the mid lane as well, so they could potentially just be patient.
Exactly. It's the
True
game
Shot
they should be
Barrage.
playing. That's just...
Clips Bamey, gets a lot of damage down.
Yeah.
Zatai looking like he wants to jump over the wall for this one. They could definitely try and start a fight. Now Tabe actually being very aggressive. They slowed down the Shen. There comes the ultimate. Good taunt on towards Tabe. He's going to get locked down by the Temper Fate. 3 members stuck in stasis. The knockup comes down as well, but he's kiting backwards. Avoidance taking a lot of damage. Good equalizer does come down. Bamey's going to take it out. Jinchao is next. The Stay United's going to try and keep him alive. He's able to kite backwards. Finds the first kill. Gonna go down eventually as Rookie's now trying to kite his way, but Jamaica's left. Rookie's going to try and take it down 1 on 2 here. Is he still trying to hold the fort and keep his team in this match? But that's 2 frontline members of IMA are just going to collapse on towards the Nexus. Rookie's got a tough mountain to climb. Can't find the kill to avoid us. Doesn't get stunned down. They're still kind of backless, but Rookie, his numbers up as he gets flashed on by the Shed. And an ace does come out from IMA to tie up the series 1-1.
The tanks are enough to get IMA over the line. Rookie with a valiant defiance. He really did give it his all. Has shown that he's entirely capable in the marksman position. But Rookie's not enough when the rest of the team isn't firing. IMA come up trumps.
Tied up the series 1-1. Impressive early game coming out from IMA that faltered once IG tried to stop the bleeding, and a chaotic Baron again is just what turns the game around once more.
And another steal that should never have been there. Once again, IG, they gave IMA the perfect draft firstly. They started the early game poorly, and then they brought it back. We were back to even. They were set up, the bad Baron decision. Just like that, we put ourselves into a game where Rookie tried his absolute hardest, but he was definitely listening to Linkin Park.
This is where, that play was where we started to see things look good for Invictus gaming. This is where things started looking good again for IMA. They almost killed Road, not enough. Stand United gets in there, they just turn around a team fight. They're able to mitigate a lot of the damage dealt by this play, Invictus Gaming.
Yeah.
But just wasn't enough. That one Baron play was all it took for IMA to just turn it completely around.
Yeah, definitely was. Funny how it all came down to that one moment, more than one occasion. This is actually really good from Save. Zatai was very much out of position. He barely lives, but it's simply because of this, the zoning that comes out of the equalizer, as well as the dodge on that taunt.
It's a big Hextech Rotobell as well.
Yeah, so fantastic work once again. We've seen mechanically IG can keep up. Decision-making as a team was where, honestly, it felt a bit lacking from IMA. But when you gifted that Baron, when you gifted the way into the game, it is fairly easy to just execute on it.
And that's where IG started to look good, and after that, it was just a Baron play that just went south for an Invictus Gaming lineup. And now the series is tied up 1-1.
Yeah, so we put ourselves into a very awkward 1-1 predicament. I think game number 1 should be what they look to replicate here from IG, remembering that we've swapped to the other side of the rift. But as far as game 2 is concerned, we've seen the goods and the bads and the uglies from every single aspect of both of these teams.
The kitchen sink is currently being thrown into the series between Invictus Gaming and Nime. Game 3 is going to be really exciting. I have this strange feeling that Baron buff might be involved again once we head into game 3.
You don't say, Fish. You don't say. The Baron buff, kind of a big deal.
Well, let's see if that happens if we head into game number 3 here. We're going to go to a very short break first. We'll be back with the final game of this best of 3 series.